Alright, hi everyone, welcome to today's video. On the day this is being recorded, it is Saturday, October 5th, 2024. Yeah, it's my weekend off of work. It's around 3:30 in the afternoon. RIP to that praying mantis I just saw squished on the road. It's around, I would say it's around 80 right now. It's, feels real nice. I'm just in, a t-shirt, shorts, and sandals. Although I probably should have grabbed me some socks and wore actual shoes and at least had my sweatpants for, the way back, but I'll be fine. So, oh shit, I didn't grab a charger. Damn it. I knew I was forgetting something. Well, I'm not staying too long. But anyways, I'm going over to the homie's crib because James is at the house all by himself with the animals. So I figured, I was like, alright, while they're out, going to the club today and, doing some stuff towards around downtown Columbus today, I might as well just pop in and have and just spend some time with James. And from what it sounds like, he wants to have pizza, which I'm like, okay, cool, whatever. But see, here's the thing. Even though this is my weekend off, my schedule kind of changes starting tomorrow. Why? Well, starting tomorrow, I'll be working every other Saturday. Well, no, I'll be working every Sunday, I should say. But one Sunday will be my normal 11:30 to 8. And starting tomorrow with every other Sunday, I'll be working the 9:30 p to 6 a. And then getting that Monday off. So, yeah. And the funny thing is that when it comes to me being at work, I've worked, in terms of the time frame that I've actually worked, at the hospital, I've worked for pretty much any time from 11:30 a to 6 a. So that's like, oh god, that's like 20 hours, 20 and a half hours. Hold on, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 30. So that's like 5.5. So that's really like, it's really like either 18 and a half or 19 and a half. I think it's like, I'm pretty sure it's like 19 and a half hours. That I've worked. And I would try to avoid. See, here's my thing when I first started at the hospital. Since, people die occasionally at the hospital. And, I didn't want to be at the hospital after a certain hour of the night, like past midnight. Because especially in the times when I was, still in housekeeping and when I was the custodian, and I decided to stay over a little bit to finish up what I was doing, I was trying to make sure I was completely done before midnight and that I was out of the building by midnight. But yeah, because subconsciously, it's like, from what I was told, is that between like midnight and I don't know, like midnight to like 6 a.m. the place is like haunted. But I've done so many overnight shifts, the 9:30 to 6 transport shift, that I actually don't think that the place is haunted at night. Maybe in certain areas of the hospital, like I don't know, like the morgue or ICU, or maybe the ER, I don't know. And what's funny is that I go into the ER a lot at night. For one of three purposes. Actually, probably more like one of four. The first reason I would go into the ER, I have nothing, and I'm just, going on a little stroll around the building. And sometimes I cut right through, which, they don't tell me anything that, they never say don't do that, but I'm in uniform, I'm on the clock. I'm just wandering around waiting until I get an assignment. Well, let's see here. What else would it be? Shit. The second reason I would go up into the ER, take someone over for a CAT scan and then bring them back, which is about a third of everything that I do, or that transport would do for the night shift, especially going from about 11 o'clock to until the next morning. Third would be ED to ultrasound, and or also back, vice versa, unless they tell me that, hey, we're gonna go ahead and, or if they're like, well, as soon as we're done, we're gonna take them back to their room. I'm like, okay, cool, that would be great, because I have no problem giving them someone and letting them take them back when they're done. I have no problem with that, because I think they should do that. Or in honesty, they should go get them themselves and take them back. Now it's different. Another reason, if they're slammed, that they can't take them back or get them themselves, that I understand. But I mean, come on. If you're not busy at all, or not slammed, you can go get your own patients and at least take them back. Unless you're going to tell me that you're going to take them back, then that's cool too. Another, and then the last reason of why I would go into the ER late at night would be well, take a patient upstairs to a new room, which does happen, but not really often. I go up to each floor for that at least, I'd say at least once or twice on each of the, patient floors. And we have quite a few of them. We have, let's see here, we have 1 north. We have 2 north ICU. 2 south, 2 east, 3 east, and 4 south. So we have 7. Now for nights, I don't think anything really happens in ICU unless it's, necessary. I mean, in my times where I worked the overnight shift, I've never gone up to the ICU once. And hopefully let's keep it that way. Now the only time I would ever have to go up through there is if, take them to like a test, which I highly doubt it at a late night hour. Go down to the morgue, which is possible. Or do a floor transfer, which is possible, but I don't know. Usually they won't do floor transfers. They'll probably save all the floor transfers until like in the morning hours. Like 6, 7, 8 o'clock. But I mean, hey, you never know. Oh yeah, that's right. Ohio State has their next game today. They are at home, playing the Hawkeyes. So yeah, it's all conference games from here on out. Well, technically it started last week, all the just conference games. Because, they played Michigan State last week. While at Michigan State, everyone thought that Michigan State was going to win. But, nope, we took care of business. And as far as I knew, before all the games for the weekend, there's only like 4 or 5 undefeated teams left in the Big Ten Conference. And we're still one of them. Now, I actually have no idea if the game is going to be here in Columbus or if it's going to be in or if it's going to be up in Lansing. Because when it comes to like Ohio State, all the area general, like central, like in the central-ish parts of the state, that's all Buckeye territory. Everywhere around it is all the other Ohio college teams. And there's quite a few college teams here in Ohio besides the Buckeyes. I mean, of course, there's Ohio University, the Bobcats. Then you have Cincinnati. Damn, bro. Why dude speeding? You have Toledo, you have Bowling Green, you have Akron, you have Youngstown. Yeah. You just have there's probably at least like 8 or 9 college football teams here in Ohio, but of course the one that trumps all of them is the Ohio State University. I need to get onto the opposite side. Now, when it comes to Michigan University football teams, as far as I know of, the most southern part of the state is Wolverine territory. And, you know, everyone knows the rivalry between the two, which is why it is probably the best college rivalry ever. I mean, how between the two, they've won 9 times in a row. There was a time that they beat us like 49-0. We were tied a couple times. And our longest winning streak against them was, back in the Urban Meyer years. It was either like 6 or 7 times in a row. Yeah, because I remember the year before Urban Meyer became head coach, there was a big fight. Because, I mean, you know, there has to be. I mean, it's the rivalry game. Because, you know, we don't give a damn about the whole state of Michigan. The current winning streak currently belongs to that team up north. That I think it's 2 or 3 wins currently. And the funny thing is that I'm pretty sure. Oh wait, no, they lost their second game to the Longhorns. They got crushed. I was shocked because Longhorns, they're usually a pretty decent team, but usually Michigan's a bit better than them, so they're kind of about even. But they got crushed by the Longhorns. I don't remember what the score was, but I was like, God damn, really? So, yeah. I don't know what else I could possibly even say about it, honestly. I was shocked that the Longhorns beat the Wolverines, and so now I'm just waiting for, you know, the Saturday after Thanksgiving to where we can actually kick their ass. Because a lot of people have been saying that this is going to be the year for Ohio State to be national champions. And we're well overdue for a national championship. We could have had one like 2 years ago. Especially against the bowl game against Georgia. Because what wasn't fair was that, you know, that bowl game against Georgia, was played in Georgia, which isn't fair. And honestly, what they should do is that, at the end of every season, going into the postseason and, all the championships, all the bowl games, what they should do is that they should look at the top, I don't know, I think it's the top 12 or 14 teams, after all the conference championship games. They should look at all the top 14, 12 or 14 teams, and then find random places out on the map as, a neutral territory. That way, it could be close or far away from both teams for, all the bowl games, which, is fine. But as long as it's not in the same state as one of them, I think it'll be fine. So, for example, if that bowl game between the Buckeyes and the Bulldogs was played in, I don't know, we'll say, if it was played in Alabama instead of Georgia, then I would say that'd be fine. I mean, that's a bit farther away for us, but at least it'll be played on a neutral field. Because I'm pretty sure that we played that game like in the Bulldogs stadium, like on their field, which, isn't fair. Because, it's postseason. If it was, like, part of the actual, like, season itself, cool, whatever. Who cares? But it's postseason. Postseason for, like, championships. But, yeah, anyways. The last season that we actually made it to the championship game and won was the 2014 season that ended in 2015, like February of 2015. And it was us against the Oregon Ducks. And from a map I saw 10 years ago, yeah, it was that long ago. That was the most recent time we won a national championship. Let's see here. I would say the vast majority of the entire country said that we are the favorite to Oregon. And what's funny now is that the Ducks, along with UCLA and USC, they're part of the Big Ten now. Yeah, we have 16 teams in the Big Ten Conference. And our opponent back in the national championship of the 2014 season, played in 2015, is now part of the Big Ten. Now, I actually have no idea why the Big Ten championship is always played in Indianapolis, in the home field turf of the Hoosiers, but it is what it is. Usually the conference is broken in between the East and the West. Now, the winners of the East is usually either us or Michigan. It actually just depends on how well both teams do. And within the last few years, it's been that team up north. Now, whether or not if it's like gonna be us, who's to say? But between the two of us, of Ohio State and that team up north, we've made more appearances in in the Big Ten championship game than they have. What the hell's going on? Why is there a bunch of young people dressed up? Oh, that's right. Harding has their homecoming today. Yeah, they had their homecoming game last night against who was it? Clear Folk, and they lost by a score of 14-13. I'm guessing they both had 2 touchdowns, and they tried to get I don't know if they tried to do the after field goal kick or they tried to do a 2-point conversion, but they failed at the very last moments of the game. But yeah, they lost. And what makes no sense at all is that out of all the county schools, in Marion, Marion County, high schools, there's only 6 teams. Out of all of them, Marion City probably has the worst football record, which is kind of ironic. Yeah, so that means that the 5 county schools, whether it be Elgin, Pleasant, River Valley, or Ridgedale, those guys do a hell of a lot better than the city kids. Why? I don't know. And honestly, I actually have no idea which one of them would be considered our rivals. Yeah, I said R because, yeah, I did graduate from Marion Harding. I am a Harding alumni. Class of 2018. I mean, you guys know this. But, yeah, it's not really fully understood or fully clear who our actual true main rival is. But we at least have 2. And they are Pleasant and River Valley. Now, personally, I would see River Valley as the main rival. It's probably because the church I went to is very, very close to River Valley. It's my church growing up is literally in Viking territory. So maybe that's why I would see River Valley as our true main rival, but I'm not entirely sure. Unless we just have a rivalry with all of the county schools, which is also possible. I mean, hell, with our current season, they only won their first game. They won the home opener. Yeah. We're generally the worst when it comes to football. In terms of other sports, I actually have no idea, to be quite honest. But, you know, it is what it is, I guess. Now, the counties with Columbus, Toledo, Dayton, Cleveland, Cincy, and like Akron, those cities, like those counties, have a lot of schools in them because, you know, they're bigger, they're more industrialists, and a hell of a lot more liberal. Those are usually the liberal counties of Ohio too. All the rest is rural and, you know, conservative. Yeah, which is kind of funny is that historically Marion is a kind of liberal town. But apparently, like, out of all the seats of our city council, all 9 seats, it's a Republican supermajority. Now, there are 5 members on the council. Well, not 5, but there are 9 members in total on the council. And as you all know, a simple majority will be half plus 1. So, in this case, a simple majority of 9 would be 5. That is the simple majority. But a supermajority, which is 2/3, is 6. But we have 7 members of the council that are Republican. There's 1 independent. I don't know which way he leans. And we have 1 Democrat. And said Democrat on the council is he's been in some hot water for the last couple months. Something about that he like touched kids or was like talking to kids in a sexual manner. I don't know. I haven't fully looked into it, but he's kind of hated. But between him and a Republican that I actually got to meet the other night, the 2 of them have been in the council for quite a while. But, yeah. I actually don't know how many terms the two of them have served or when they started, but they've been in there the longest. Because, yeah, a lot of the original council members aren't there when I first got interested in politics. And how one of them, like former ones, was my old science teacher back in elementary school. It was, what's her name? Rebecca Gustin. She was my elementary science teacher from, third and fourth grade. And I think she got elected my fifth grade year or something like that. Yeah, I think that sounds about right. I actually don't know when she stepped down. I'm thinking it was sometime, I don't know if she just retired and didn't run for another term, or if she just resigned. I would say it would have to be sometime during my, high school career. Let's see here. I'm gonna say it was probably my junior year, because I'm pretty sure that's when we had to vote for a new city council. I think. I don't know. It's been a while. So I don't know who the mayor of the town was before Schertzer, but he definitely served as city mayor for at least 20 years. So he must have served for at least, let's see here, it's a 4-year term. He's serving for at least 20 years. So I'm assuming that he was elected and served 5 terms, I think. I mean, honestly, I don't think he even did anything, honestly. I mean, I met him a few times. You know, I had a few conversations with him a few times. I mean, hell, usually at occasional city CPA events and meetings, you know, because Dad was part of the CPA, and a lot of the older senior people know who I am, but the newer people I highly doubt don't know who I am. But I've kind of known a lot of the CPA people as the years gone by, you know, thanks to Dad. I mean, hell, one of the members of the CPA was my old elementary art teacher. Like, there was literally a time that she spent the whole entire like class time just talking about dad. And that's definitely one of the few memories of her that I've kept, that I've what's the word I'm looking for, like cherished, or distinctly think of her as. I mean, I still see her from time to time, whether it be, you know, like a big city event, like, I don't know, like the popcorn festival, or, you know, wherever they need like security, or hell, I even see her at the fish fry from time to time if I'm up there. Let's see here. Another person I know from the CPA is, well, she actually used to be the former clerk of the city council. And every time I go up to a city council meeting, like, I will literally walk up there, and she was always kind enough to take me home. That's back in the early days of my fascination of politics, and then I kind of steered away from the local stuff and became heavily glued and prioritized, you know, federal politics, politics at the federal level, and dapper a little bit in between in geopolitics, you know, politics of, you know, the world. Although that definitely came to bite me in the butt the other day, but that's a story for another time. Let's see here. And then another guy that I know, another person I know in the CPA, at least I think he's still in, was a board member of my old Boy Scout troop. And he was a physician, like a health physician for a couple years, as far as I know of. So yeah, I've known him for a couple years, at least, oh God, probably at least almost 2 decades now. Or something like that. I don't know. Either way, I've known him for a while. Oh, that breeze feels real nice. Okay. Okay. So apparently, from what it sounds like, in order to be on the ballot for, you know, for city council, for the position I was trying to get into earlier this week, for a number of signatures, you need 100 signatures. But if that's actually true, I don't know. Is it worth me trying to run for the next cycle? Because because I was at the Republican party meeting here in town for, you know, Marion County. It's the Marion County Republican Party headquarters, and they mentioned that for the office I was trying to get into, which was the vacancy at the at-large, which represented the whole entirety of Marion City. They said that in a few months is when you gotta finalize everything to be, on the ballot. So I'm pretty sure that you would need at least that you need at least 100 signatures to get on, but I know there's probably some other stuff too. Is that a MetLife helicopter? It sure does sound like it. I mean, that is a helicopter, but I don't think it's a MetLife helicopter, because they would have already landed by now, unless they're going from the hospital. I don't know. Well, I could possibly run for the at-large, but I'm going to guess that there's going to be a whole bunch of people, and I'm pretty sure the top 3 with the most number of votes will be sworn in. Now, I don't know how true that is. I'm gonna have to go down to the Board of Elections, and I'll probably go Monday since I'm off, which kind of works out because then there's a city council meeting that day, as far as I know of. I'll have to double check. So I'll kind of go around the time of that, go to the city council meeting, and I'll kind of go from there. Because I think I did okay, except for the part that, because I was asked, what do you think is the biggest problem or issue here in the community? And honestly, I didn't know how to answer it. Mainly because, I always, tend to stay by myself. But yeah, there's a whole bunch of issues here in this community. There's homelessness, there's a housing problem, which kind of goes with homelessness. There's the drug problem. And someone mentioned something that I never would have even thought about as a possible problem. That, we have Ohio State Marion and Marion Tech College. They're IT colleges, and yet we have nothing here in town that offers anything even remotely related to IT. So that kind of threw me off a little bit. I'm like, interesting. So yeah, I actually don't know if I should put out a forum for people of the Marion community to be to have a survey of what people think the most important issue in the city is, and then I will look at the results and then I'll look at the top 3 and then I'll come up with my own proposals on how to fix those issues. I think that'll be the best way to do it. Or just survey the first 100 people because, you know, if I want to have a big political background and I'll have a really good long political career, obviously the best way to start and the best place to start would be the start local. Start with your local politics and kind of spread out and kind of, you know, go up the levels between local, state, and then eventually federal, which will be cool. Okay, so I'm here at the hospital, here in the parking lot. I actually don't know what time it is. See here, it's almost 50 minutes. I'm going to assume that it's probably close to around 4:30. I am gonna go in and go get me a drink. Right? Yep. Good thing I got my badge. Alright, so we're gonna go ahead and end us off right here. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.